Hello, you speakers. I'm Katsam.
I'm George.
And I'm Javier.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the You Speak English podcast, your go to source for learning English in a fun and practical way. I'm your host, Katsa. And as always, I'm joined by our resident experts, George and Javier.
Now, don't be so humble, cats. You are the experts. I am a mere enthusiast.
Well, considering what I say in this podcast, I'm more of a resident evil.
Yes, you are.
Resident. But I'm not even resident. More like temp.
Okay.
I'm a temp.
Do you hold a green card?
Hey, relax. I'm legal. I'm a Mexico.
So stay tuned. We're learning some memory techniques for vocabulary retention, part 2. So it's all about making those words stick, isn't it, George?
Absolutely, Katsa. And vocabulary acquisition is, the bane of many English learners. But fear not, fellow language warriors. Today, we're going to ditch the dusty old textbooks and learn a new trick that's both effective and, I dare say, cute. Now, Katsa, imagine you've just met the most charming floppy-eared puppy you've ever seen. You wouldn't just leave it in the corner, right? You imagine him?
No.
Of course not.
You gotta
monster.
grab
Take
it.
it on walks, play
Yeah.
fetch, shower it,
Yeah.
show some affection. Well, think of your new vocabulary words as those adorable pups. You want them to become your loyal companions in your English journey.
Yeah.
Here's where the magic of spaced repetition comes. It's like being the most responsible puppy ever, the most responsible puppy owner ever.
I never met a
You don't
responsible puppy.
bombard your new furry friend with attention all at once,
Yeah.
overwhelming its tiny brain. Instead, you space out the playtime, gradually increasing the intervals. Same with those new words. Picture this. Day 1, you meet your vocabulary pup and give it a good cuddle, reviewing the word. A few days later, a playful game of fetch, another review. Then, a week later, a leisurely stroll in the park, yet another review. Each time you're building a stronger bond, reminding your brain, hey, remember this awesome word? Let's keep it around. And just like with a real puppy, the more consistent you are, the deeper the connection. No need to force feed vocabulary or engage in intense drilling sessions. Just like spacewalks and belly rubs, spaced repetition gently reinforces your new words, making them ingrained friends in your English arsenal.
You know what's another one, guys? Mnemonics. Mnemonics is another powerful tool. This technique involves creating a story or image in your mind to remember a word. One of my favorite, also known as a memory hook. Am I correct, guys?
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if you're trying to remember the word orange, you might picture an orange sun setting over the horizon, or an orange on a plate. And if you go to the supermarket and you see oranges in the produce section, then point to them and say the word orange. Just don't say it out loud. They're gonna look at you weird. You can say it to yourself.
No,
Okay.
say it out loud. It doesn't
Oranges!
matter.
Sir, we asked you 100 times, please stop coming by. The plural oranges, perhaps you can say it in the supermarket, or you can say to yourself, like in your head, I saw oranges in the produce section today.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great example, Javier. And then our third technique is chunking, which involves grouping words based on themes or topics. For instance, now that we're talking about produce, if you're learning words related to food, you might group words like apple, banana, and orange under the same category, fruits.
Yeah. Cats, another way to apply chunking is to create theme vocabulary and phrase lists. Okay. For example, if you're learning English for business, you can chunk together words and phrases related to meetings, presentations, and or negotiations. This not only organizes your learning, but also reinforces connections between related words.
Another practical application, guys, is to use chunking in conversation practice. Instead of focusing on individual words, try to chunk together phrases or expressions and use them in a context. This helps in developing fluency in natural sounding speech. This is why a lot of teachers sometimes ask you, like, give it to me in a sentence. Try to write a sentence with this new word, and that's really a good way for your mind to grab it.
Yeah, exactly, Javier. And these techniques may sound simple, but they can make a world of difference in your language learning.
Now, let's talk about how to apply these techniques in your daily life. George, would you like to share a personal experience?
Sure thing, Katza. So, yes, I can relate this to the time when I worked for my dad back in the day in the USA. Well, many, many years ago. So he was indeed the handyman. You name it: carpentry, plumbing, electricity, flooring, even TV repairman. So despite the fact that I started at a very young age being his go-get guy, go get this, go get that, well, I started, helping him, and I learned so much about the terminology and jargon related to that world. Words that you wouldn't normally use elsewhere, such as AC, DC, volts, circuit breaker, fuse, semiconductor, joules, watts. I remember this very much. The P and P transistors, or the N transistors, amperage, and so on. I used to go buy parts for him and all that. So as you can see, all of these words are like a family. Okay, they're these are words that are related. And that for me was an easy way of remembering all these groups of words. Up until now, I still remember them, and this is decades ago.
That was that has a name, right, George? You're called a gopher, right? You go for this,
go for this,
that,
go for that.
go for that. That's a gopher. I used to remember that. Go for this, go for that. Now I have one that I particularly enjoy because I learned it back when I was in high school. Mrs. Mead, I don't think she's hearing us. Probably retired already, but taught us that the word mitosis, which is a word that refers to the division of cells. Now, those of us who speak Spanish, we learned that at an early stage, but in American English, that's not a common word. So she helped us to visualize maybe two sisters, one that steps over the other one's toe, and the other sister would reply, mitosis, mitosis, you're on my toes, sis. Get it? So it's mitosis. It was an excellent way to remember it. And I still remember it to this day. Okay, and now in our teaching experience, I don't know, you guys teach giving directions, but a long time ago we used to teach, walk up and walk down and turn left and
Go
turn right.
straight.
And the hard one for me was teach. What was hard one for me is to teach walk along.
Oh,
Walk along. Remember that? Like you're not walking up, you're not walking down, you're walking along.
Walk along the street.
Walk along Fifth Avenue and turn left.
Yeah.
So a student gave me a good mnemonic. He said, "Oh, walk along, teacher. Is it like a big chicken?" What? What do you mean like a big chicken? Sí, un guacalón. Un guacal.
Oh my God. Jesus.
That's a great mnemonics right there.
Now, nobody said that your mnemonics had to be in English. You could mnemonic in your own
exactly.
language. And it really helps you.
As long as it helps you remember.
Whatever helps you remember.
As long as it works. So yeah.
It works is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic insights, guys. Now, let's move on to our phrasal verb of the week, catch on. Javier, could you give us a definition?
Yes, of course. Catch on means to understand or realize something. For example, it took me a while to catch on what he was joking about. And I'm glad you guys caught on to what I just said. You guys are good at catching on.
Great example, Javier. Now, remember, listeners, phrasal verbs like these are an important part of everyday English. So incorporate them into your vocabulary. There are actions in English that cannot be said with regular verbs. You must use phrasal verbs. So as we wrap up today's episode, let's recap the main points we discussed. We explored memory techniques such as spaced repetition, mnemonics, and chunking. And we highlighted the importance of applying these techniques consistently in your language learning journey.
And don't forget our phrasal verb of the week, catch on, which can help you express understanding in various situations.
And this brings us to the end of our episode. Not without me telling you first my thought of the day. Guys, I've just realized that all books, no matter how long they are, what genre they are, or even what age group they are, they're all made up of different combinations of the same 26 letters. Did you know that? Isn't that
Wow.
creepy?
That's right. That's so
And you know
That
what's the
deep.
just dawned
creepiest?
on me right now.
Just dawned on me. You know what's the weirdest part? That
Mm?
when you read a book, after you read it, the book changes color.
No, it
Yes.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Wow.
Did you know that? Because once you
No.
read the book, it becomes red.
Oh.
That's it for today, guys.
Thank you for catching on, Katza.
I totally caught up. It took me a
Ah,
while.
she
Oh
caught
my
on. All right.
It took me a little while.
Come
Please
on.
don't hate us for this.
You know, the book becomes red. Read, red, red.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
actually a good way to remember
Yeah.
the past tense of read.
Red. The book is red
That's
now.
a great way.
Different
Yeah.
color.
All right. Okay, this is it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to subscribe and share. You want to get in touch? Check out our YouTube channel where you can comment on our videos and find us on social media. We're everywhere except for X and Threads, as at USBK English, the one with the yellow logo. For more information about us, please visit our website. Please visit our website. And
Please
remember,
visit our website, please.
Please visit.
Come on.
and remember.
Perfect practice.
Makes perfect.
All right, until next time.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Please visit.
Please visit.
Please.
Yeah.